I think where this gets slippery for Mac is that the physical difference isn't big, and I mean, look, like I talked to a couple of Browns people before the game who studied Bailey Zappe before the draft. Yeah, I mean, Mac is physically superior, but not by a whole lot. They're 40 times they're in the same neighborhood. Bailey moves pretty well in the pocket. Maybe he's not as great moving in the pocket as Mac is, but he can move in the pocket. And Mac's got a stronger arm, but not by a ton. So I just think where this gets slippery for Mac is Mac's superpower is upstairs. If Mac's turning the ball over and taking shots he shouldn't take, wouldn't that like gap shrink? Like he doesn't have like Mahomes or Allen physical ability to lean back on. So if he's making mental mistakes or doing things outside of the structure of the offense, that's where I think this thing gets a little slippery for him.
Why was Mac Jones with the team today? What was the point of traveling?
I think the point was they want to sort of, get him reindoctrinated into the offense, game day. And I think also really, Bert touched on this, Bill Belichick using it for motivation. Like, hey, why don't you see how this operation runs when you're not around with Zappe? Why don't you get a firsthand look at how good we are without you? How you like them apples? I really do.
It's hard not to tie it to, Chris. Like, I'm sorry, it's hard not to tie this to Mac questioning the offense, Mac questioning the coaching,
yes,
Mac questioning why they're doing things, Mac questioning the injury, the handling of the injury. It's hard not to tie all of that to, hey, Mac, look, here's a fourth-round pick from Western Kentucky who's doing what we're telling him to do.
Hey, Bert,
here's what's happening.
Can you confirm that Mac, because fans don't want to believe this, Mac questioned the coaching, he questioned the offense, he questioned the handling of the injury. Is that true or false?
Yes. The thing with the injury got messy. He was asking why a lot, as far as why they made the decision to go with a defensive coach and a special teams coach to handle him in his second year in the league, why they weren't keeping things static when they had success with Josh McDaniel's system last year, why they had to change things. Mac's a big why guy. That's who he was at Alabama, too. Like, he drove Nick Saban crazy for a while, too. So this is who he is. He's a big, like, I need to know why. And you've heard him actually publicly say it, too. Like, so this is something that's very real with him. And it's spilled into the injury, too, because that thing got sideways for a little while there.
Hey, we're not making it up, okay? Before you start, why, these guys are not making it up, all right? Guys, just because, I know you don't want to hear it, but they're not making it up. People talk, they talk to people. I don't, but they do, okay? So please. Mike Florio is another one. Mike Florio, tapped in national guy. He's been saying this the last couple days. Here's what he posted on his site today. Says there's chatter that Jones isn't thrilled with the situation there, meaning New England, starting with Belichick's refusal to replace Josh McDaniels with another skilled and experienced designer and caller of plays. Instead, Joe Judge is in charge of the quarterbacks, Matt Patricia in charge of the offense. There's a belief that Jones is not thrilled with that arrangement. There's also talk that Judge has become an advocate for Zappe.
Of course he has.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Because he can take credit for Zappe. He can't take credit for Jones.
That would help explain
Zappe's jib.
That would help explain Belichick's reluctance to proclaim Jones will be the starter when he's healthy. So again, just back to that piece. Is Bailey Zappe more coachable than Mac Jones, and is that playing in his favor?
I mean, Bailey Zappe, Houston Baptist University, Victoria, Texas, Western Kentucky. He's just happy to be in the NFL. If they asked him to cut off his left arm, he'd do it. I mean, that's what Bill. That's catnip for Bill. That sort of good soldier. Yes, sir. No, sir. I'll do whatever you want, and that's great. And I think it is great as a juxtaposition for Bill to show to Mac. As Bert has said, look, if you just follow our orders and stop asking questions, we'll have success.
Okay. Is there any scenario under which Mac Jones is not playing Monday night against Chicago?
I think he's playing Monday night. I mean, unless the ankle acts up on him, I think the plan is to get him out there. I think that making the trip this time around was a precursor to that. But you do have to wonder, like, if there's turnover issues again, like, is there a leash here? You know what I mean?
Mac might start the game. He might not finish the game.
You wonder about that, especially when, like, Bill would have the out of saying, oh, well, his ankle acted up a little bit. Like, Bill still, the first couple weeks, Bill's going to have that out where if it doesn't look right or if Mac turns the ball over a couple times, like, he could pin it on the injury and say, you know what, like, he wasn't feeling great, so we thought we'd throw the kid.
That's Felger and Maz's Christmas if Mac starts, it gets cold. Are you kidding me?
The whole thing's getting good.